Can you both just say and spell your name?
Spell my name. W-I-N-N-E-R.
You mean W-E-I-N?
W-E-I-N-E-R. K-I-N-G-G-A-R-R-E-T-T-E-L-I-A-S.
B-A-D-A-S-S-M-O-T-H-E-R-F-U-C-K-E-R.
Yeah, we're live, man. Welcome back. Holiday break is formally concluded. Happy to be back on the show, dude.
Yeah.
How are your holidays?
Good.
Got any cool gifts?
Slow, but good.
Any cool gifts?
Just gift cards to my favorite restaurants.
No hype stuff, huh? Does your
One
wife...
Kith thing. That's it.
Okay.
Kith hoodie.
Yeah,
thing.
my wife hooked it up.
Yeah.
She hit StockX and the app.
You got Kith too.
Yeah.
Now you're on board, huh?
I've been on Team Kith.
I know.
Yeah, but I don't know. I like the quality of their stuff. But yeah, she hooked it up with some cool gifts. I'm grateful, honestly. Good. And then yeah, man, hoping for some good stuff for my birthday, which is coming up too.
Did you go sledding?
No sledding.
I know you can't ski.
No, I can ski. Thank you. I appreciate it though.
Yeah.
Aren't you the one that goes to is obsessed with Aspen and is unable? You can't ski. But you always are talking about Aspen.
I can do both, but I don't go to Aspen just to do that though.
Okay. Overall it was good though, man. Slow for releases, as we know, which like for sneaker releases, but since January 1st, it's been fucking crazy for like cards, whatever low key stuff.
Pumping them out, man.
Yes,
tons
I know.
of low key, tons of cars.
I know.
It's been solid.
It's been good, and sneakers are supposed to start back up pretty strong, like late January, early February. Topically, I guess a big thing that I wanted to discuss, I think you did too, was the massive transition in dunk availability that is projected for this year. So a few changes with like the Nike Dunk and the Nike SB Dunk. I believe that the Nike SB Dunk is no longer going to be skate shop exclusive. So that I don't think that SBs are necessarily going to be at like Foot Locker or any like big
like the normal dunks, but they're not going to be backdooring them to
I think
local kids.
Exactly. We could see just like other tier 0, tier 1 boutiques getting them, which it's funny, like that's where the joke is, that's where all the skate shops like used to pay their rent is just the back door from whenever they get a batch of SBs.
You think Kith will get them like
SBs?
Undefeated,
doesn't Undefeated is a skate shop?
They do,
account.
So technically,
Undefeated technically can get SB Dunks or could get SB Dunks in the prior.
That's true.
But
I've been raffling them, and they're probably pretty strict on what they do with them.
Right. It depends. I mean, I guess it depends on how many they get on some of these, how hyped they are. Yes. And then regular Dunks, non-SBs, are projected to be on foot sites, like everywhere. We even saw the Nike by You design for the Dunk, the Dunk Low a couple weeks ago and whatnot. It's been I think that this is going to change. In hindsight's 2020, right? So when I look back, we can see Nike's been preparing for this. They've been preparing for this giant cash cow.
Every week or two.
I
mean, crazy
dunks every week or two, but super limited, just to like get the
hype going,
like crazy.
And you've seen that in prices too.
Yes.
I mean, you're seeing them go under 300 on like really sick colorways. I mean, going really low. So.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, and even like the Clivers. Like, what are the Clivers? 600-700?
Those are expensive. Those are 600 or 700.
You think that's I know that they're 600-700. I think that they like if those released a year ago, they would have been $1,000 kicks.
You think?
Yeah, I think the Dunks have just been like beat to death to a degree. I think that they're special. Especially like
those surprise me that they've stayed so high.
Really?
I guess they were really exclusive. Yeah, because Strange Loves were in the special box.
Yep.
Were 700 or 800 pre-release and then jumped up to 11. But you have to remember the Strange Loves non-special box were 500 after release. That's why I was surprised that the Clivers, because I think the Strange Love
are better. Yeah.
So that's when I couldn't believe that I looked at the Sean Clivers and they were 700 because of the way dunks have been, but maybe just super exclusive and stuff. So
what do you think about just like the state of the dunk aftermarket. Like when we see some of these colorways, like a UNC colorway dunk or whatever, just not collaborations is my point. Just regular, dunks hitting foot sites. Do you think that they're gonna act like Jordan 1s did in 2019?
Dude, you could see that totally happening.
Yeah, I could see that too.
Especially months down the road.
Yes, if they imagine like a sick colorway of a dunk that's like $100K pairs. You know what I mean? Hitting foot sites and everything like that could, and especially if the retail's low.
Yeah.
If they as long as they don't, start raising retail up super aggressively, then you could easily be going double on big foot site releases, that's got incredible.
It would be better. Yeah, I think it'd be better than your Jordan 1s though, just because of the low retail.
Exactly. Because what is it? 110, 100,
110, 120.
I know it like depends on like the highs, the
highs
dunk
are
mids,
more.
dunk lows, SBs. Like they're usually in that 100 to 120 range. Generally.
I think it's 120, and then the highs are maybe 130. Although I did see Noters charging, I think 150.
Okay, for that collaborative. Well, that's a special case though. You know what I mean? I'm excited to see it, dude. We need shoes like that on foot sites, especially with like Yeezys dying out, like Yeezy 350. A lot of Yeezy 350s that hit foot sites. There's just no money to be made on them, frankly.
Right. Unless they're a re-release of like a solid color.
Breads.
Yeah,
exactly. Any big SB dunks that you can think of right now that are rumored to be like higher stock, hitting
higher stock? No.
Not yet.
I mean, just because it's hard to gauge stock on these dunks, I feel like,
especially before the drops happen.
Yeah.
The only way to really gauge is looking at how many retailers are getting them and just making rough estimates.
Yeah.
That
I think like, and you can tell by how many places are raffling and seeing what happens with that. Not too many places had the Sean Clivers to even raffle. So
right.
I think that probably played into that.
Speaking of dunks, Warren Lotus, I guess, settled. Did he
Did
hear
he?
that?
I didn't know that.
I guess he settled.
Oh my gosh.
There's so much back and forth because like you saw that at first when the suit happened, he was going to release another dunk but then Nike came back and said, nope, can't do that either. I heard that Warren Lotus settled. What an absolute joke. It's funny though. He's not the only one that's trying to rip that dunk style, that dunk like model and silhouette. That kid, Ben Kicks, has like basically a Warren Lotus Reaper style Nike dunk shaped shoe that he teased. But it's funny. I don't even know. That kid's like a joke, dude. He got arrested for like some type of strong arm. Yeah, he got arrested for like strong arm robbery. Which I don't know. I don't know the circumstances.
Yeah,
I don't want to speak on the legal case of it, but he's not the only one. It was like a big joke over the last couple of weeks about how like Ben Kicks got arrested and then Lee, the Perfect Soul. You remember Lee?
Yeah.
Yeah. He got arrested too in New York. So I don't know.
Perfect Soul.
Yeah.
SOUL, clearly.
Yep. Yeah. Loop gods are being taken down. But I don't know. I know one topic that we had wanted to discuss was like holding sneaker investments, card investments. It's something that's gained more steam. Like you see more YouTubers and content creators like talking about investments and what am I investing in, stuff like that. Part of it, I think, is because retail product has been harder to get.
Yeah.
And I don't think that like a lot of your, average resellers are able to put all of their money into these releases every single release. So they've got this leftover money, they want to put it to work, and they're looking to make like investments that pertain to the industry. And there's like a lot of trends there. Where do you find yourself buying a lot on the aftermarket and then holding?
No, we've said this before. I will sell all this sealed stuff. This stuff is going.
I'm talking shoes too.
I know, but anything like that too. Yeah. Bread's gone. All gone.
Yep, me too.
And I think I kind of just learned that from looking at like the Zions and stuff. And dude, just the money now is worth a lot more. What I like to do is buy shoes on the aftermarket that are a little bit more pricey and then sell them when.
Like you bought like the Grateful Dead's.
Yeah.
And other
Grateful
and
Dead's did it
Strange
with
Love special
igloos.
box. Did you?
They
No.
never came in. I would have though.
Oh,
I
yeah.
bought those for like 700, and then all three of them didn't make it because
course.
StockX sucks.
Yeah, go figure.
But yeah, that's what I like to do.
Yeah.
I don't like to buy and hold a lot of product. Like,
Yep.
I don't know, GRs and stuff.
I find a lot of the slam dunk holds or the ones that are just absolute no-brainers are the ones that end up performing the worst.
Yeah. See, everyone's doing it.
Yeah, I think everyone's doing it, but also I think that they're just we've discussed like highly replicated products.
Right.
I think that there's a lot of reps
Yeah.
on some of the most hyped. So for example, the slam dunk holds, Supreme BOGOs, you know, and they just complete. I mean, they're like $300, you know.
Yeah.
You could have sold for 900 or 800, but a lot of people held down to 350.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Satin black toes obviously are like one of the most iconic. The Yeezy Zion is a meme right now.
It's crazy,
dude.
Yeah.
I have to say this. I love this dude to death. Do you know the Nike plug on Twitter?
Yeah.
You're familiar with him? He's the GOAT. He's a funny dude, but he's got like 1,900 pairs of Zions between size 8 and 11. And so rest in peace to that brother. He
that's crazy.
Yes, I know.
That's a lot of, I mean, it's
a lot of capital
on the side. Yeah.
I know. I went to his website the other day. He's got like, that's the only shoe on his website. It's Zions. I'm like, oh bro. I'm like, I pray that you can move. Eventually he'll be able to let him go. But yeah, he'd take a pretty big L if he were to sell those right now. But as far as sneaker investment videos, obviously a lot of people target Jordan 1 mids, Air Force 1s. I personally think that silhouettes like that can sometimes have a far greater rate of appreciation. The replica makers aren't, like, for example, last year, remember the Day of the Dead Air Force 1s?
Yeah.
Okay, remember how I made that like investment call? I was like, yeah, buy these up, like whatever, lunch money now. Dude, they're like, they're at the moon. I think they're like $300-$400. Same with a lot of Air Forces. So that ROI from an investment standpoint, you're going 3-4x if you buy the right Air Force, the right Jordan 1 mid.
The mid GSs are very
solid. Yes, grade school. Yes.
Yeah, because they're not replicating them, and there's minimal stock. There's stock, but.
It's crazy. Mids are just like completely different, dude, than they were a couple of years ago. I remember when like the Laker, I have memories of those just sitting on shelves everywhere for a month.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This was out in Minnesota, had like a good loop out there. There was like turbo greens on shelves. There was the top 3 mids on shelves all the time. Pine green mids, GS, men's. Same with Lakers, like all these different colorways that were just that are now iconic, $400-$500 grade school mids.
Do you know what the shatter backboards are at all?
Shattered backboard mids. Did they moon? The Obsidian mids.
I don't know if they did.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
because
I was doing Obsidian mids and shattered backboards on BNB, dude, forever.
Remember how often they were restocking those shattered backboard
all
mids?
the time.
It's like
and foot sites.
All the time. And then, and they stayed bricked for a long time. But I'm positive. I don't know the number.
Well, they weren't bricked, but they were like $10 to $20 profit.
Lunch money, way lower than they should have been.
Yeah.
You know, they've got to be at the moon now.
I know.
They have to be.
So curious to see.
After this, we'll definitely try to put the price on screen because they got to be at the moon, dude. All these things are.
Watch them be $130.
Yep, I know it. Right, retail.
Yeah, retail.
I think a lot of like the sneaker holds and card investments. There's people that absolutely crush it doing it. So I can't.
Yeah.
Just because it's not my style of reselling right now doesn't mean that I can fully knock it. There's dudes that buy up sealed product at the right time, like this NBA hoops product right now.
Yeah.
Buyers are saying that it's way too low. All the card guys are saying
look at NFL mosaic hangers.
I know.
Or they're way of that up. Stuff.
Yes,
any of the mosaics.
Any
dude,
of the NFL mosaic. We sold dude, I don't even want to talk about how we sold some volume of the NFL mosaic and prices got down pretty low for megas, hangers, all of it, but it's way up now.
Yeah.
So I don't and sealed that's interesting because you can't there's no fake sealed product. You know what I mean? Compared to shoes. Like, I'm just like thinking that contrast because that's a variable.
What about the fake sealed Pokemon box though?
No, dude, I'm talking about modern products.
So they don't fake modern at all?
I mean, like, I guarantee you there's none of these on the market yet fake.
And they don't fake 6
Well, how
month
could they?
old.
Because there's they can't fake these because there's you see how they have like the Panini logo all over the boxes? Like that's intentional. This is interesting. First edition base set Pokemon box. So like the Holy Grail. The reason why that is faked as often as it is because there was no watermark on the shrink wrap around the box. So it's just shrink wrap.
See, I didn't know they didn't make fake. I mean,
I'm sure I don't want to. I don't want to
fake all this stuff.
I don't want to talk out of my ass, but I'm positive that they don't fake stuff like this to the degree that shoes are faked. You know what I mean?
I would agree with that.
Yeah. So I guess just from an investment standpoint, dude, that's always something I come back to when I think of shoe investments because it's like Travis Scott Jordan 1. Like the demand, bro. The demand on that shoe and the amount of people that personal that shoe in our industry, normal sneakerheads, like that shoe should be way more valuable. It should be appreciating still, but it's not. It's just completely stagnant, bro. And I'm telling you, it's just because like a percentage of reps get through. I believe that every day, every month. I believe a small percentage of reps get through. They affect the aftermarket prices, and ultimately they can have a huge impact on whether or not something's a good hold.
Yeah.
One thing I kind of want to, I'm jumping ahead slightly, but as far as like investing and holding, there's a trend in our industry, of course, of investing in artificially scarce goods, aka bot license keys.
Yep.
And people obviously flipping bots, reselling bots can make a lot of money following those trend lines if they do it correctly, but people can also lose their ass. Yeah, on like you hear some absolute horror stories. There was one guy who was joking, but you see stuff like this that's not a joke. One dude, his tweet blew up the other week because he said something about how he invested in like 50 copies of Palaspot or something like that. Just like people are or you know F3
Palaspot.
Copies or things that are just artificial or Toru at a really high price, and it's like the volatility, man. Like these are artificially scarce goods, and to like invest $100 grand, $50 grand, which some people are, which is insane. That's some high risk. Do you ever
not bot flipping?
No, you don't get into like the bot flipping.
I mean, it might as well be playing the stock market.
True. At that point,
and not even knowing like much about technical or fundamental analysis.
True.
Same idea.
Yeah, exactly.
In my opinion,
it's crazy. It's
basically just gambling,
dude.
If you're not watching,
it's nuts how like a bot will tease like a new interface. Or just tease a new module or something like that. No, and there'll be no track record of success or anything.
Obviously, it's different if you're kind of like connected to the team or like if you know something about
like an insider
something coming out. But that's true with anything.
Anything, exactly. Yeah. What do you think about? So this is not like sneaker Twitter.
Well, let me stop you there.
Yeah,
I do think there is some things like buying like PD or cyber something when you've historically seen it do these, lows and highs. Like if
PD
I were to buy,
now.
Like if I were to say like bot flipping and you're flipping those types of bots.
Yep.
That makes a little. I mean, I can understand that a lot more.
There's a little more. Well, at the same time, it's the same argument of, like Bitcoin versus like these random coins. What's the term for these random coins? Altcoins.
Yeah.
So it's like you hear the arguments like, Bitcoin you can go double triple, and altcoin you could go 1,000x.
Well,
and retire on
what
an
the
island.
big guys, what the big guys in those whales do, and the manipulators, is they're literally just trying to likely get more. What they claim is they're trying to get more Bitcoin. So what they do is they go into these altcoins with a market cap 1/1000th of Bitcoin, and they can literally with their $50-100 million can pump that coin
so high.
Artificially,
yeah,
and then they just sell and take it and put it back into either Tether or Bitcoin. Like Tether is like US dollar, where you tie it up in US dollar, but it's the same thing.
Pumping.
You're gambling with most things like that. So.
I wanted to talk about crypto. That was something that I wanted to like. I'm actually not. It's not my forte, and not ashamed to say that. It's just not something like I have small amounts of crypto. Obviously I've had a wallet on Coinbase for a long time, but it's just not really something that I've delved as deep into as you have. So, but obviously we see the last several months gained a lot of steam. Prices have skyrocketed. Sneaker Twitter's all over any entrepreneurial space.
I mean, it's just like the sneaker guys all being in Tesla and all
stock
this
options,
stock stuff, and it's just another.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys that really make it, it's like 1% of them do it for a living that are very good at trading.
Yeah.
And it's mostly they do a lot of technical analysis, like popular trends like Wyckoff, and there's systems like where you use, are you familiar with candlesticks and stuff like that?
Candlesticks.
There's just ways to view trends, price trends and stuff like that. And
that normal people don't have access to.
they would if they spent 30 minutes looking into candlesticks,
Okay.
but understanding how to read different setups and stuff, like I basically just pay for that information from people that actually are good at using. I like guys that use a system called the Ichimoku Cloud. It's developed to spot trends, and so I follow those guys. But it's still the Wild West.
Yeah.
High volatility. It's stock market, like
Do you have fun
on
with it?
drugs. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's the same idea. I mean, you can see Bitcoin, people like, you start to notice like Bitcoin at 40,000 and people are like, oh, it's going to 100. It's like, if you looked at most of these charts, you see where it's likely going to go back to certain resistances and stuff. But,
Right.
It's the same idea.
That's cool.
As bot flipping, in my opinion.
Yeah, but maybe a little as more stable as far as like, some of the more established coins. You would almost compare some of the more established coins to some of the more established software.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Cyber, and you could say is like the Ethereum or Bitcoin, sure.
Yeah, it's just more stable. People trust, in them and their development team, and they know that they're not going anywhere either. There's a lot of permanency to some of those companies, which gives investors peace of mind.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But also, you're not going to go 5x on cyber. That's the thing. You're not going to buy cyber you're not going to buy cyber for 6,000 and sell it for 30 next month.
Exactly.
But you could buy a new up and coming tease bot for $50 a key or $100 a key and sell it for $2,000 a key next month. Like that's the draw for a lot of people. I think is you can really, like, some of these bot calls get pumped hard as fuck, dude. It's pretty crazy. Like the bot market manipulation, it's nuts. Like some big investment call guy or group tells 1,000 people to buy a bot at a $200 target price and sell at a $500 target price. Well, like, they'll buy all the way up till it's 500 and pump the price up themselves, even though it's just a crazy thing and phenomenon. Some big changes with sports card in-store protocols recently.
Oh, yeah.
Are you aware? Okay, so
I know the text message stuff.
yeah, with Target.
Yeah.
This seems weird to do during, the state of the world right now and whatnot. It just seems like a weird initiative to push, but basically it's a text message queue system. From what I haven't joined any of them myself. I don't think that my local stores have actually rolled it out yet, but yeah, it's basically like you get to the store, you add your number to some like wait list for the vendor or something like that, and then they like text you one at a time. I just don't. And then you can come and get your one cello pack and one blaster box or something.
Cello,
it's freaking lame, dude. I don't know. And then but you see all these videos and pictures of people just like loitering in massive groups. You know what I mean? At Targets, and it's like, what the hell are they doing? Like, they're not even allowed to do that. I guess it makes sense that they would go a different direction. They've got to do something, because they've just got people camping out. They've probably got people sitting in Starbucks 12 hours a day watching for the card vendor.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And their thought was, we'll just do this queue system.
And I guess in theory, it's not the worst thing in the world, because it doesn't really promote gatherings. If you can like go get your name on the list and then go back to my car, go back home, and then they'll text me. I'm not really sure the details of it, but it makes sense that they're pursuing something different, so it's not just the kids that are camping all day every day. And it makes sense that they're also not pushing it all.
I was
online.
thinking what they were doing was like, you'd have to come in, like, let's just say once a month or something, put your number down, and if we get product, we randomize
Dude, that would
who we
suck.
select.
That
I
would
thought
suck.
that's what they were doing.
That would actually be the worst thing ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would, yeah.
In
no.
store, I just can't do it anyways. But
Right.
I
Have you
thought
hit in
that's
store?
what they were doing.
Have you ever hit cards in store?
No.
No? Just me and Brian. Both
Yeah.
got cards in store. I haven't hit cards
That's
in store.
because my cousin's going around taking everything. Probably.
Local? That's funny. I last in store like big haul that I had, I got like a good amount of Mosaic football a couple months ago. But
Yeah.
it's competitive, man. It really is. So yeah, that's gonna be a big change. I think to avoid the loitering, to avoid the fights, directionally it's a good thing. Walmart will probably see something similar, maybe, but also Walmart doesn't really seem to give a fuck that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, their thing
Target
is like,
cares more about resellers than Walmart.
Oh
does.
yeah, because Walmart just doesn't care. They just want to sell product.
Exactly. They just don't want the
They don't care how many
inconvenience.
you get or anything.
Nope.
Yeah.
They really, really don't. Some other changes in like card markets recently. We have seen. Okay, last time we talked, there were some retraces in sports cards, retraces in Pokemon.
Right.
We've seen them kind of bounce back, kind of recover.
Yeah.
Slabbed cards, graded cards.
yeah.
Bro, these vintage markets, they're not showing a lot of I don't know. People have a
No.
lot of faith in these vintage graded markets.
Yeah.
A couple booms in the last few months, MMA cards.
Yeah, you were
Like the
saying
more
that.
obscure cards.
Yeah.
Still vintage, still super scarce, not artificially scarce, really scarce, like Conor McGregor glove cards and stuff. That I remember there was no market for it, dude. A few months ago, I used to be like big into MMA back in the day, and a few months ago I looked up prices of these cards and they were all over the place. It'd be like Conor McGregor autograph for $300 and then also Conor McGregor autograph, same card listed for $2,000. There was no market. It wasn't optimized is the correct term. Now these markets have been optimized. MMA cards are booming. Magic the Gathering has been going crazy. Wasn't your brother saying that what's the card that sold for like $1 million?
Isn't it Black Lotus or
Black Lotus?
Wild Lotus or something?
Yeah. Yep.
He wanted to buy one of those a while back, and that's the only reason I had really known of the card. But yeah, I guess it's like last one sold for $250,000.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's like $1 million right now on eBay,
Dude.
Or maybe that's what they're asking or something.
Okay.
But-
yeah. I would have to see if it's a sold.
But a lot of collectibles overall
Are just booming.
I think it's just collectibles.
I know, and like some other industries, obviously like comics, vinyl.
dude, we're starting to get into that. You know,
It's exciting.
yeah.
It's exciting to see. Modern product though, I don't know. They're still printing the hell out of it, especially Pokemon. I think that Shining Fates, like the 25th anniversary set for Pokemon, is still projected to do well. I think
gonna
there's
do
some good
great.
chase cards.
Yeah.
A quick flip though, as with anything like Hidden Fates, Evolutions, like any of these modern sets.
Careful saying quick flip. I mean, we've seen what's happened,
Not with Pokemon though.
dude.
Bro,
you never know.
They just don't stop printing Pokemon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That as far as modern product,
You know, guys will be holding that though.
yeah, I don't know how advisable it is.
Oh, I don't advise it.
Especially
but I've been wrong.
You look at Hidden Fates, like that was such a slam dunk of a hold, and then this massive reprint that occurred several months ago.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so I think that these things, Evolution's prices are crazy high. I saw some people talking about just the other day how for years, like since Evolution's set released in 2016, it was just kind of like a joke of a set. Like, yes, they had a modern Charizard, like they had the original art, Charizard Holo, original art, like a few of the original chase cards, they redid them on the set, like same art, same holo patterns and stuff, and that's cool, but they were printed like crazy, and there was centering and surface issues. Like they just weren't grading well. They don't grade well, but the boxes are insane. Like,
Do you know what population like PSA 10s are and like?
Off the top of my head, I don't on Evolutions.
But if the printing's messed, maybe the 10s are actually.
Yeah.
I mean.
That much more desirable.
Yeah, and maybe lower. I mean, even if they printed a ton of them, then maybe 10s are so low that they're still.
That's something that I think is underutilized. Is like I don't know how much people look at population reports.
Right.
They're really interesting when you see like the percentage of how many, like however many Patrick Mahomes rookies were submitted. This is the percentage of them that graded a PSA 10. This is the percentage of them that graded a PSA 9, PSA 8, etc. And you can base like investability.
There's probably people that do that all
Yes.
day.
Well, yeah, because like, PSA 9 price based on PSA 10 price based on the ratio between them, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, there is definitely a lot of optimization that to be had there, I guess I would say, within slabbed cards. PSA not taking bulk submissions anymore.
You told me like it's like a year or something.
Well, they were backed up a year, and now they're just not taking them.
Oh my gosh.
Which is huge news for the hobby. So people are submitting, like people are basically forced to, go through the long waits with some of the secondary companies such as like Beckett, BGS, SGC, or just wait for PSA to open back up, which as a result is causing slabbed cards to increase. I think that might be one of the reasons.
That could. Yeah.
I mean, if fewer people are submitting cards to be graded,
they're just sitting out raw.
Yeah, then that count, that population count, obviously it'll still increase over like the 1 year backup that they have, but yeah.
That's interesting too.
Crazy. PSA just didn't have the infrastructure.
It's almost like artificial manipulation, of a market when you have all these potential PSA 10s sitting in houses.
I know.
Wow.
It's nuts. Big sneaker news. Like the sentiment in the industry has been, last couple months, sneakers have been dead. Sneakers are dead right now. We're just waiting for releases to come back. But big news, we just got basically confirmation of Off-White, Nike,
so awesome.
Virgil Abloh, the 20.
Yeah.
So the sky's the limit on these, man. I mean, Off-White Nike shoes, there's some of them that are confirmed. The website itself that he dropped, it's public, it's like public #domain.com. And it basically at the bottom, it's got like a bunch of it's an Off-White styled website. It's not actually claimed to be owned by Virgil or Off-White, but obviously it is. And then at the bottom, it just like scrolls through all of the Off-White Nike collaborations that they've done from the beginning and then up until current. And then it'll show like a bunch of blurred. Yeah, a bunch of blurred.
And clearly you can see some of
what some of them are.
Previous teases.
Yep, exactly. Like the canary yellow Jordan ones. Like absolutely legendary. I mean, people have been hyping these up. I've seen these things teased for like the better part of a year and a half, I think, man. So yeah, those will be like probably $1,500, couple thousand on the aftermarket. I'm excited. Air Forces. Do you think that are there any confirmed silhouettes? Like Jordan silhouettes that he hasn't done yet?
We thought we saw what, 2 dunks?
Thought I saw some dunks.
Two that look
There's
like
definitely an Air Force.
There's 2 that look like Jordans, but
I could see.
Could it be an 11?
Well, they've teased those like bread
possible?
Jordan 4s have been. Remember the Off-White bread Jordan 4s have been teased for a long time. So maybe those will come to life.
Look weird. A couple of those on there.
What about I don't know if these were actually, if this was real, but the Kobe.
Oh yeah. You showed me that.
I
don't know about that. Yeah.
Off-White Kobe. Yeah. Not entirely sure. Directionally, I think it'll be really good. Did you hear about Trophy Room Jordan 1s? Do you know the news about what's going on with those?
I remember you or somebody saying last week how they were showing up on StockX and just being backdoored or something.
I don't know. There's not that many on StockX, but there's a lot of pairs. All the dudes that are like down in the Florida area near Trophy Room are saying that like all the boutiques have them. Like a lot of pairs.
Oh my gosh.
And I guess a lot of the local resellers, like the bulk sellers down there, also have them. And as a result, it's just a huge backdoor operation. Some people are saying they're stolen though. Do you know anything about that? Like,
yeah, I'm in on.
No, I mean, like,
you
have you
like
heard? No, have you?
You know anything?
Do you know anything about how? No, I'm saying, do you know anything about like? Have you heard of like bulk shoes being stolen from production? Me neither.
No.
Like that's pretty crazy, but it does explain, other than replicas, why a lot of them don't have boxes.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Same with like a lot of.
But what are they doing to steal them out with no box?
Dude, I really don't know.
Why are they not in the box?
Straight off the line, straight off the production line. Dude standing there putting them in
I
the
don't
van.
know, dude. Backdoor just seems way too. That seems like the right.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's definitely a backdoor, huge backdoor. I mean, there's so much money on the table.
Yeah.
So Yeah. Okay. Do you want to get into this week's leaks at all?
Yeah, let's do it.
A little early, but yeah, let's hit it. So, this week's leaks, I know the first thing we had was the Nike Dunk, or was it Nike SB Dunk Low Club 58?
Yeah, those are sick.
Yep, absolutely beautiful. It's like a bright blue. What's the backstory behind?
Dude, I should have checked this. I think it was like a race car sponsored by possibly like a filling station or something.
Okay.
Like they own like, probably a Formula One team or something.
Yeah.
And the reason I was thinking that is because they were teasing a pink Porsche shoe based on like this almost like salmon color Porsche from Le Mans, I think, the race.
Okay.
So I think they were like hand in hand kind of, these two dunks.
Gotcha.
But the Club 58s have just surfaced a lot more than the Porsche. They're called like Piggy something maybe.
Okay.
But yeah, those are sick.
When are they supposed to come out? Like,
I think it's early this year. I don't
Sweet.
think there's like maybe March.
Let's
but
go.
Other than that,
love it. That's a nice
a
dunk.
nice dunk.
That's a really nice dunk.
dunk.
Cool. And the themed dunks that look really nice too are always a
Yeah.
slam dunk.
Mm-hmm.
We do have some like not official images, but we have a really good idea of what the yellow off-white Air Force Ones are gonna look like.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's technically considered part of the 20. I think it is. Because
Was
it's
it on that slider?
It's blurred, but I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, so those off-white yellow Air Force Ones.
You like them?
I don't know. Not that much. It's
No.
almost like a mustard yellow.
Dude, I don't like it just because I don't like the MCAs and that whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You really don't like MCAs. From the beginning, you haven't. I remember.
Yeah.
They'll definitely sell exceptionally well.
Well, yeah. but I don't like them.
Yeah. What about the Yeezy 700 V2 Cream?
Sweet, dude.
Yes.
Reminds me how I missed so horribly on the Statics.
Oh, dude, the Statics.
Dude.
Yep, that was one.
And
of the
I
first,
always wanted those.
That was one of the first shoes that I got when I got back into the game. It was like Static 350 reflectives, and then I remember the Static
are great.
700s.
Those
Yeah,
are
bro.
great.
Awesome.
The 700.
They
yeah,
do
those look great.
It was the first thing I thought of when I saw the 700 V2 Cream. I thought of Static 700s.
I think the Yeezy, the way they're like basically releasing a ton of shoes, but they're also like mixing in these kind of limited but like really awesome Yeezys that still have resale. It's
Yep.
very interesting how they're doing that.
Yeah, I mean, you know that they're making money, man. It's
That's
crazy.
yeah.
And they lowered retail. We were just
Yeah,
talking about this before we
240,
started. They lowered retail of all 700s. You said right to 240.
240. Yeah.
Sick, and because the Sun 700
Sun is 240.
while recording, the Sun drop hasn't happened yet, and there's a lot of potential in those, especially because of the 240 retail, dude.
Yeah.
It's gonna be sick. Another leak that we saw, some deconstructed pictures of was I think the color code is British khaki. Travis Scott Jordan 6. Thoughts on that? Have you seen them?
Yeah. I like them.
I think they're sick.
I like them.
The early pictures or the early leaked pictures, they didn't look like as much of like a suede.
They have the pocket just like they have the pocket. Yeah, like the olives too, right?
They're clean.
I like them.
I think they're gonna do really well. But I honestly like them more than the OG.
You never liked the Swamp Sixes.
The Swamp Six, Sewage Sixes weren't my preference.
I liked them, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I know Brian liked them, but
yeah.
A few things we wanted to. I guess this is improv, but I would like to talk about just the last year in review for GFNF and our business,
dude.
man. I am really grateful. A lot of our members obviously listened to the show, and we got to celebrate our 1 year anniversary. Just a couple weeks ago, did a ton of cool giveaways. Did an awesome Twitter giveaway. Shout out to the Torpedo team and the Hey Ha team for taking part on that with us. But overall, man, what an incredible year.
Yeah.
We started GFNF, like I wasn't into sports cards. The market was just starting to pick up. About 13 months ago, that's when Prism Basketball was releasing, like last January, February, I want to say.
Yeah.
We had some buddies that were buying it, but they were all manually looping on these websites, or just like there was only one supporting bot at the time, which is like completely nullified at this point because of the industry.
Yeah.
But a year of growth, and I'm grateful, honestly.
Yeah. It's been crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even a year ago, we weren't even thinking about cars that much.
No.
You know, it's
let
really,
alone a podcast
right.
and everything else.
And all the guys who have been loyal, day
Yes.
one guys and guys, who maybe we got on board halfway through,
I know.
staff and admins, and
I know.
it's been great. Community's awesome.
An incredible year.
This year's gonna be sick up ahead, I think.
I'm very optimistic for resale in 2021. I am.
For the next 5 years, I'm highly optimistic.
Me too, man. I think that like we're gonna see when people we need the sneaker market to recover. We need people to be going outside, socializing again. We need like just the normal sneaker market to this summer, spring. Like
I know.
We need that bounce back.
I think when people can go outside, we're gonna see an incredible boom.
Me too.
And
Because early on, when people started staying home and quarantining and not going out, people were still buying fits. They're still buying kicks and like, dude, I'm gonna wear this out in a month. I'm gonna wear this out in a few weeks. But now
they've got 15 shoes lined
that's
up
it. They've
to
got
go,
like 15
dude.
pairs of DS shoes ready. They haven't got to show off any of them yet. So they're I think people like normal sneakerheads are being a little bit more selective in terms of what they're buying.
Yeah.
All the while, cards are the exact
Collectibles.
opposite.
Yeah,
Collectibles
people are
the
loving
opposite.
having these things to look at home.
Because they're home,
and
bro.
enjoy them.
Exactly. And they're enjoying.
Very
dude,
interesting. Yeah.
At breakfast this morning, let's talk about this. At breakfast, we were talking about like what is the limit? What is the cap to a Charizard card? Like
Right.
Our generation, my generation, these are like holy grails from when we were kids. Like a very small percentage of our generation's like millionaires or billionaires yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're still in that building phase and time of our income and earning and professional career. So the fact that we've got guys like Logan Paul, Logic, a small percentage of this generation already have Charizard and Blastoise up to these, $400,000, $300,000 for a Charizard. Who's to say it's not going to be a $2 million card in 5 years?
I said that to you when we were looking at the population count on those Charizard PSA 10s, like the originals. It's so low.
It's
and
so
you're trying
low.
To
it's
tell
like
me,
100 or 200.
You're trying to tell me like
hundred
worldwide we don't have 1,000 guys
that
willing to pay $1 million in the next 5 years?
Yep.
I don't know.
It's like one of the most special Pokemon.
Yeah.
And these collectibles are some of the most nostalgic, special memories for people.
Yeah.
And people are willing to pay a lot for nostalgia, dude.
I'm interested to see, man.
We've seen that time and time again. Like they say that when a generation's at like 40 to 60 years old is when they start investing in their nostalgic memories.
Yeah.
So like the Pokemon generation's pretty far out from 40 to 60 years old. So in terms of like you look at guys, obviously
shout out who?
No, not shout out anyone. Gary, I think of like Gary V.
Yeah.
Is always like, this thing hasn't even gotten started yet.
Right.
This thing hasn't even gotten started. He says it a lot.
Yeah.
Some people are like, he says that because he has all this product and, he's making an ass load off of his investments. Because, dude, Gary V had some legendary investments over the last year and like LeBron rookies and stuff like that, bro. He made an absolute killing. But he's adamant. And a lot of big card guys are adamant that as far as the vintage goes, like we're still, the optimization, it's been optimized, so you're not going to like buy a Charizard and go 10x your money by next month anymore like you would have a year ago or 8 months ago. Yeah. However, the potential for long-term holds, long-term investments, it's still there, man. Yeah, these collectibles markets are on absolute fire.
Yeah, they have me thinking of like diversifying my investments into like a really good comic, a really good Pokemon card, really good sports card maybe, but
what's the deal? Do you know much about like the Rolex aftermarket? It's something.
Yeah, of course, because I talked to you about it.
Okay.
And now that I looked into it, it's like you don't want to buy a new gold Rolex because it's going to depreciate like a car.
Yep.
And they really don't go up that well. But you want to buy a stainless steel used.
Yep.
And one of the more limited ones, I think Submariner or something, or not limited, but
or
like
popular
demand.
Yeah, popular silhouette.
Yeah, so that's another like longer term, you could say safe investment historically.
They say that like a really good Rolex investment you can see like a 5%
Right. It's like real
appreciation.
estate almost.
Yeah, it's like it's somewhere where you put your money when you've got like way too much money to
But
invest in shoes and stuff like
unlike
that.
real estate, you can put it in your pocket.
It's true.
So
Very
if
true.
you need to, for whatever reason, put something in your pocket, you know.
Yeah, you physically
There's places
possess-
in the world where literally they have taken your land. So
That's true.
It's just, I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
Obviously.
From like a long-term investment standpoint, yeah,
Right.
you hold these precious.
physical
If it's like
gold and so
precious metal, there's value in it that's intrinsic, right?
the Rolex is like it's just an interesting concept when you're thinking of investing in like cards and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's all very similar.
I think that Rolex like increased their retails just because they could. Like they kind of similar to like Panini and some of these other things that like the cards are so collectible that they just increase retail to the point where there's not really like you're not
Yeah.
going to get this year's new Rolex and flip it for double or anything because it
Right.
retails like the gold one 50 grand. You know, if you
Yeah.
want like a diamond bezel, it'll be like 60, 70 grand or something like that out the door. You're not getting like a deal on it.
Yeah.
What's isn't there like a long wait list too for new ones?
I think most of the Rolexes are, I don't know if it's like hard to get them, but there's like price premiums.
Got it. Okay.
I think that's what I've heard.
What's like nostalgic for you, dude? Because you were like
Well, see, I've been
barely
thinking
old,
about that.
You were like barely older than me,
Yeah.
but older than me to the point where like
I think
weren't into
video
Pokemon.
games,
Yeah.
honestly, could be one that
what?
we
Like-
see increase. I mean, like just old Nintendo 64s. We've seen it from our video game investor guy. Like
Yeah.
these old packaged Nintendos, maybe like the Pokemon one and stuff like that. Like Zelda has like, I used to love Zelda on 64, but like Zelda has cartridges that are like special cartridges. I could see like when I'm 40 or my generation's 40, some of these old school games like
Yeah.
Super Mario 64 or something, like original box, original this or whatever, being worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
Star Wars cards was one thing, but I don't know how popular it was in my generation.
Dude, I think Star Wars cards are one of those types of cards that have gone up a lot recently. Bro, I'm telling you, anything
I'll have to look, but yeah.
anything you can think of. What's the weirdest card that was ever released with like a cereal box? Because it's worth a lot of money now. Like it's crazy. You see some of these dudes on Twitter, bro. They got like Flintstones cards, like PSA 8, just
really?
random. Yeah, like random cartoons from back in the day, random movies. I saw there's a new like LeBron James Space Jam something. I don't know if it's like a movie or a show.
Yeah, he's doing a Space Jam movie. Yeah.
Yes. LeBron James is doing a Space Jam movie.
Yeah.
The OG Jordan Space Jam promo packs are going to the moon.
Oh.
And dudes have sealed graded packs.
Crazy.
Because you know graded packs, right? You know about this?
Nope.
You don't know about that market?
What do they do? Weigh them and everything? Or?
Well, yeah. So basically, you can buy PSA graded vintage packs that are still sealed. They're a lot of the time. I don't think that they definitely weigh them to make sure they're legitimate, but like I don't think that they care if there's a hollow in it or not. So what people will do is like, let's just say I've got a vintage box and I weigh the packs and like these ones have a holographics in it, and then these ones definitely don't. Obviously, like now Squirtle, Charmander, those are worth a lot of money, so they're maybe still worth opening. But some dudes will send those sealed packs in to PSA and get them graded, and they'll be literally a PSA graded pack, like in a slab and everything. It's really cool because the art on the packs is iconic.
So they're saying the pack is just really clean and good, and the color's there.
Yeah, the color's there. It's
like
in
a
great
comic.
shape. It's not ripped. It's not
comic
the
cover.
seals aren't broken at all. Exactly. It's cool. Yeah, graded packs.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, like I said, the graded Space Jam packs, dude. Like basically anything like vintage graded nostalgic cards are going up. So markets that are under optimized, like we're talking about MMA, like these random cartoon cards and stuff like that. The Marvel cards, like they'll do like actual superhero cards,
Okay.
all to the moon.
Okay.
Star Wars
I
cards.
feel like I remember those somehow.
It's
My
insane.
brother might have had Marvel like cards or something.
Well, you need to figure out more definitively what is going to make you tick as far as nostalgia, because we got to look at that. I don't know. My generation, dude.
We'll find it. We have to.
Pokemon, obviously.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh, obviously. I remember when I was a kid, dude. The transition was seamless. Like I went, it was just Pokemon, and then we all got into Yu-Gi-Oh like a couple months later.
Did you guys have Beanie Babies? Was that popular when those were
Not
very
really.
popular when I was a kid?
Okay,
I
so-
just have no idea if those would ever bounce back.
Well, Beanie Babies wasn't like some of the really rare ones selling for ungodly amounts of money, but aren't reps
Back then, yeah.
aren't
too.
replica Beanie Babies a
No,
big problem?
I have no idea, dude. I haven't looked at the
You're not a
market
big
in
Beanie Baby
20
guy.
years, 25 years.
Fair.
So-
I remember that was like one of the early, like maybe 5-10 years ago. That was one of like the first things that ever I remember being like, oh my God, these are worth all this money. Like everyone go check to see if you have any that are worth anything. And obviously none of us did, you know,
Yeah.
like if any of like our sisters or whatever had Beanie Babies, or parents. But I had one buddy that had like $1,000 Beanie Baby. That was cool. But yeah, well, that's cool that you were into Beanie Babies when you were a kid. That's good to know, man.
I had like 30, bro. Like I just
That
remember
seems like a
people
lot.
were collecting Beanie Babies. And so that was like that, and then Star Wars cards. And I don't even remember. My little brother was into Pokemon.
Okay.
But I don't remember. I've been trying to think of like what would video games is like what I keep coming back to.
Mm-hmm. And we've seen that too. Like, dude, even have you seen the original like Pokemon games? Nintendo, like the Game Boy.
That's what I'm saying. The cartridges and those things.
Sealed video game cartridges
That's what
from
I'm
like
talking
early
about.
Nintendo. Yeah, and those can be graded too. Does PSA grade it or does like Beckett? Who grades the
I
video
don't
game
remember who
cartridges?
grades them. I just know that they.
PSA definitely grades the Pokemon ones.
I don't know who grades them, dude. I know like that Super Mario 1 or one of the original Super Marios went for like a ton of money.
That's nuts.
Like a ton. But I don't know who grades them.
What about comics? Is that more like our dad's generation, would you say? Like 80s?
That's an interesting one. Yeah, because the 70s, the golden age comics from like the 70s.
70s.
Those are like, I mean, but that's just like the resurgence of Marvel and everything has made those go through the roof. But
Very
also
true.
probably that our dads and whoever's from the 70s is also
Yeah, they're acquiring
disposable income.
Exactly. Yeah, they're at that they're in that age demographic now.
That,
like
I would love to get a cool comic. That's really cool, I think.
really?
Yeah.
I've never
But I don't think it's been like booming.
I never got into comics. Like I never read comics as a kid. You
Yeah.
know, we were like on the early, stages of like tech. So we were playing Game Boys and stuff like that. Not a
Right.
lot of comic flipping, but yeah, big opportunities, man. 2021. I'm ready for an amazing year. I'm grateful for 2020. I feel almost ignorantly optimistic about this coming year, and I'm ready to see it. I'm ready to see the whole industry make some money.
Right
So,
on.
Cool. Let's wrap it
Thanks,
up, man.
bro.
Until
Yeah.
next time.
Yep. Cheers.